Welcome to Sage Pastel Payroll's How to Correct Transaction 5008 video. Please note that the code 5008 and 5009 should not be processed together. Transaction code 5008 calculates shifts by taking into consideration anything that is linked to calculation total 25. Transaction code 5008 can be found on both the default and income tab on the Process Payslip screen. Transaction 5008 will never have a decimal and will always be rounded down. If your bonus amount seems a bit low, check that the year-to-date value on code 5008 is the correct value. The calculation on transaction code 5008 is based on the quantity of hours on calculation total 25. It is then divided by the average hours a day according to the master file. You can reconcile the values by checking what transactions are linked to calculation total 25 and check how many hours are processed on these codes. To check linked to calculation total 25, navigate to View Parameters. Select Calculation Totals. Filter from Calculation Total 25 to Calculation Total 25, then click on Show Transaction Details. Your transactions may differ from the ones that's showing on my screen. This depends on what the company policy is. Now we will pull a transaction listing. Filter for one pay frequency at a time. Click on the frequency, select employee, then select code. Make sure that Show All Employees are selected, then click on OK on the filter screen. Select the from period as the first period in this tax year, and the to period as the current period that you're in. Leave the From Transaction field blank and the To Transaction field as ZZZZ. Click on Transactions. Move the transactions that showed on the Parameters report that is linked to Calculation Total 25 to the right-hand side. Then you'll be able to click on OK. Click OK to print the report. Check the period quantity column and scroll down to the bottom of that employee to see the quantity of hours that this employee has worked in the current tax year. The calculation for shifts looks at the hours from January to December, so you will need to open the year-end copy company for the previous tax year and print the transaction listing from the first period ending in January to the end of that tax year. Add the quantity in the year-end copy company to the quantity on the current tax year transaction listing. Then divide this by the average hours per day according to the master file. In our case, it will be 580 hours in the current tax year and 0 hours from the year-end copy company as this employee only started in September. We will then divide it by 8 and the shifts for this employee for the tax year will be 65. To correct the year-to-date for transaction 5008, navigate to the Income tab of this employee's Process Payslip. Click on the Override next to the transaction code 5008. Make this amount 0. Now calculate the difference between the year-to-date value and what the calculated amount should be, and add this value to the period amount. As the year-to-date is currently showing as 5, and we want it to be 65, we will enter 60 as the period value. Then save the payslip. Thank you for watching our video. Reach out to us on our self-help platform